Hello, Serge here from the Backyard Driving Range. All right, we have a question here that came in from Globob, Globob, and it's really a good question because it pertains exactly to physiology, which separates the peak performance golf swing from most other swings. So before I get into reading this question and answering it, I want to do a public service announcement here. In the world of golf, they say that because we're all different, meaning human beings are different, we have different sizes, shapes, abilities, disabilities, or I prefer to call it liabilities, that how can you teach everybody the same swing as we profess to do here in the peak performance golf swing? I can teach everybody the same swing because in this swing we have accepted parameters. We'll call it like a street, okay? And I'll use the mat here. There's this curb on the right side, that curb on the left side. Got the white line down the middle. The perfect swing is the Ferris wheel. It's straight up and down. Yes, there is a perfect swing. No, we can't do it. But because we can't do it, what do we do? Well, we don't take it and throw it away in a trash can because we can't do it. We learn to understand what it is, right? On, square and solid. It's a Ferris wheel. Ferris wheel straight up and down. That's why we're intermittent up the tree, intermittent up the tree, vertical. And guess what? Our arms are designed to go that way. So my goal is to help every golfer build the best setup and swing they can to maximize the laws of physics. We're the only ones that have taken the physics, physiology, and married them together. And that gives us flexibility to be able to work with every golfer. Now again, I said I got the parameters, curb to curb. My goal is to help you stay as close to the center line as you can, but based on your abilities or your liabilities. Abilities could be what? Some people, is flexibility a problem? Yes, it can be a problem if it's going to let you be a wiggle worm and move too much, because as you know, what's the rule number one? Secret number one, rule number one. Fewer angles, the better. We control our body movement. We must maintain our spine angle. So flexibility, especially for ladies and children, is a big problem because they don't have the upper body strength to kind of get out of position and be able to get the club moving and get control of it to hit better, at least decent shots. All right? But so flexibility can be a problem. It's great. They might not have back issues or hurt their shoulders or their neck or their back or whatever as compared to a person who is much more tight and tense, but they're going to have less chances of hitting good golf shots. So my goal is to get you to stay as close to this line. One of the best examples is we believe in flared feet. Well, if somebody has ankle issues, especially in the forward leg, which would be the left leg for a left-hander, for a right-hander, and the right leg for a left-hander, we can help lift the foot a little bit more to get you to be able to, for the knee to have less tension on it. The more the feet stay straight forward, the quicker the knee has less of its external rotation. It's going to lock up. It locks up. It's creating tension, stress, and strain. Not only the knee, it goes down to the ankle, up into the hips, the back, and all the way up to the necks and into the arms. Because every muscle is ultimately connected, so things can go wrong. So the peak performance golf swing is the only swing that we can make adjustments for whatever your liabilities are. And any of you that have been to a lesson with me or any of my teachers, one of the first questions we always ask, do you have any physical issues I need to know about? That we can therefore make some adjustments in your setup and your swing, but try to keep you as close to walking this center line, because the closer we keep you to the center line and not let you get, especially to the outer boundaries, and we'll never let you out of the boundaries. Once you get outside the curbs, then you're in trouble. All right, big trouble. So we're going to try to keep you as close to the center as you can. That is our statement. Help every golfer build the best setup and swing that they can for their abilities or liabilities. So here's Globob's question. I am one of your self-taught students since we do not have one of your certified teachers and or equipment gurus in our area. Many years ago when I was in the Navy Air Corps, I had a severe accident that required the removal of both of my rotator cuffs. So here we got a tremendous liability, okay? This is a big one. This is as bad as people have had knee operations and hip replacements, knee replacements, or whatever. This is probably even more so because he has no rotator cuffs. My arm movement is quite limited as a result of this. On my backswing, I'm right-handed. I cannot get my left arm horizontal. I cannot get my left arm horizontal to the ground. That means he can't get to there. He's stuck somewhere in here, okay, below it. So it's obvious he doesn't have to worry about too much turn, and especially worry about going to parallel no longer, right? So that's one good point right there. He cannot get his left arm to horizontal to the ground. I'm probably 10 to 15 degrees short, and the follow-through is about the same. So basically, you talk about three-quarter swing to a full finish. Basically, Globob is basically about half or even short of half to half on that side too. So he's basically pretty much a player hitting punch shots, knockdown punch shots, okay? But that's all he can do. He can't lift his arms. My drives are 175 to 80 yards with good roll. Man, I think that sounds unbelievable to be able to hit the ball that good, to hit the ball that far with this much swing. So if Glow Bob can hit that with that much swing, why does anybody need to go up there? Huh? There's living proof that 3/4 better. Glow Bob doesn't even have 3/4 and he's hitting in 175 to 80 yards. My drives are 175 to 80 yards with good roll. 9-iron is about 75 yards, etc. Is there some modification of your method that will allow me to get more distance? I keep the ball in the fairway and very seldom in serious trouble. Doesn't get much better than that. My handicap is 19 from the senior tees. I play golf twice weekly. Now, how about this, folks? How old do you think Glow Bob is? He says it right here. I'm 85 years young. I could use some words of wisdom. All right, the first wisdom I'm going to give you is I can't tell you how excited I think I would be at 85 years old to still be playing golf as good as I play right now, as good as I hit the ball, and be able to hit it at 85, 175 to 80 yards. Unless the fountain of youth is found between now and my getting 85, and I could regenerate this body to where I'm 60 right now, or whatever, I think that's great. And so 85 years old, hitting 175 to 80 yards, and he doesn't even have half a backswing and half a finish. So tell me you need to go make a big turn and go to parallel. Again, I bring up my good friend Anthony Netto, the paraplegic in the little chair. I've showed that. I've talked about it him in website and dailies before and everything else. He's strapped up in a chair. He's got a strap around here. He's got a strap around his chest, and he's a paraplegic. And all he swings is with his arms. And he's been clocked at 116 mile an hour club head speed. And he's locked into this chair. So all he does, he comes up like this and he finishes like that. He's got no turn. All arms. So here's two great examples, Glow Bob and Anthony Netto. So I sent this off to Doc because I wanted to get another perspective about equipment. I know a fair amount about equipment, but not like Doc and all our certified fitters do, because that's their job, that's their living, that's all they do. Doc came back with these suggestions. He said, Doc Griffin said, I'd suggest more loft and a double L flex. The reason why he wants the club to start doing a little bit more. And again, I got it written down. I just noticed. How about in the past we got 3 seniors that play with short swings. Doug Sanders, he was barely half a backswing. He was like only here. How about Alan Doyle and Dana Quigley? 2 other guys, younger guys that have played on a tour. They're on a senior tour now, and they're both like right here to there. But they were able to finish. All right, but none of them got more than about this high in the backswing. Barely at parallel, the forward arm parallel to the ground or slightly above. But they were able to finish. Glow Bob can't do that. So he said, I'd suggest more loft and a double L flex, but the distance he is getting is pretty good for his age. See, Doc says the same thing. He also recommends using a Wilson 50 ball would be good. Now, Wilson right now is about the only company claiming that they have compression on a golf ball. And the 50 ball is pretty good because, again, the more a ball compresses and squashes on a golf club, the better recoil, the more recoil it's going to have rebound off the club face. And in the wintertime, I actually use, when I go out and play a lot in the wintertime, I'll be out there, I'll play in 32-degree weather if the sun's shining and there's not any wind. As long as there's something to give me a little bit of heat. I played below freezing, as I said, as long as the wind's not blowing and the sun's out. And so when it starts getting down below 45 degrees, I actually have some of those Wilson balls here, and I'll play the Wilson ball in the winter. All right? And so I think that's a good suggestion from Doc. So the only thing I'm going to say here is Glow Bob, you have a limited peak performance golf swing, limited on both sides. But all I'm going to say is your limitations are giving you, if anything, just about a dead guarantee that all you can do is a peak performance golf swing in the mid and basically up a little bit of the tree and in the mitt and up a little bit of the tree on that side. But you're staying, you got the golf swing down pat. And so the only thing I'm going to say is just keep playing, enjoying the game of golf. You're hitting the ball pretty good distance. You hit a ball, you say you're basically always in the fairway. You got the thing everybody dreams about, just knocking it down the middle, knocking it up on the green or right in front of the green, getting it up and down and move on. And so keeping the ball in play. I mean, you probably wear out golf balls and almost never lose them. And so doesn't get much better than that. So Glow Bob, I really think that this has given me a great opportunity. Your question here and your comments and has given me a great opportunity to talk about the importance of the fact that the peak performance swing can be fit to anybody, even though we're teaching a method, and it can fit to anybody. And you're living proof that even with the disability you have, and I'm going to call it a disability with no shoulder sockets, that you can lift as barely as you can lift your arms on both sides. You're hitting the ball without a doubt. Solid, straight, in control, shooting good scores, and especially at 85 years old, that's awesome. So you might want to check into these things. You might get a little bit more distance here. Doc keeps preaching to me when I kept saying, Doc, I think I need softer shaft. He says, you just don't need softer shafts, Don. You're losing club head speed. You now need more loft, on especially your fairway woods. And might be, and I'm down to a 4-iron in my bag. I still hit that okay, but I'm pretty sure at some time in the near future, or hopefully far future, I'll have to get rid of that 4-iron and get into a higher lofted hybrid. Okay? So at some point when you lose the speed, you need more loft and softer shafts. And this double L flex might be something good for Glow Bob to try. Great question. Great example of a person being able to play golf. That's why this is the greatest sport. 85 years old, and only can make basically a half swing, and he's hitting the ball with a driver 175 to 80 yards down the middle. Doesn't get much better than that. Thanks, Glow Bob, for bringing all this up to us. And with all of this, let's all try to be like Glow Bob. Down the middle, on the green or in front of the green, up and down, and shoot those lower scores, and we can be playing golf till as long as we're vertical. All right? That's it for the search for today, and I'll be talking with you all again soon.